Welcome back to Hidden Source News, your destination for breaking stories, entertainment updates, and everything happening behind the scenes in the world of movies and pop culture. If you enjoy our content, make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the Hidden Source community so you never miss an update. Today we are diving into one of the most anticipated superhero films on the horizon, the upcoming DC Universe movie, Supergirl. Fans have been waiting for a completely fresh take on Kara Zor-El. And from everything officially confirmed so far, this project looks like it may be one of the boldest directions DC has taken in years. There is already major excitement surrounding the film because this is not simply another Superman copy and paste story. I went into this movie with no expectations, and since I was not a Supergirl comic book fan, there is little reference for me to compare. I did see the 1984 movie starring Helen Slater in the titular role. That movie was fine. Back then, it would have been great to have included Christopher Reeve's Superman character as a cameo, but they do mention it in the movie as him being off-planet. This current version introduces audiences to Kara Zor-El in a way that feels dramatically different from the earlier version of the character. This movie is more dramatic than the 1984 version. Instead of presenting her as a lighter and more traditional hero, this interpretation explores a more complex emotional journey. In this version of Supergirl, she is shaped by trauma, survival, and difficult experiences from Krypton's destruction. She is driven by greater emotional depth and a stronger personal identity outside of Superman's shadow. She is definitely a woman out of place on Earth, while Superman had years to assimilate and grow up on Earth. Kara's trauma from witnessing the destruction of her home is a very fresh wound on her and drives much of how she acts in this movie. Leading the movie is Milly Alcock as Kara Zor-El. Alcock gained significant attention from audiences for her work on House of the Dragon, and many fans' immediately reaction were mixed. Many loved the idea while others not so much. DC leadership reportedly felt she had the right balance of intensity, authenticity, and emotional strength needed for this version of the character. Early reactions suggest she brings vulnerability and toughness simultaneously. I thought she did a great job at bringing a complex character who had many issues due to the trauma she lived. Behind the camera, the film is directed by Craig Gillespie, who previously demonstrated an ability to tell character-driven stories with strong emotional foundations. Official production information confirms that he immediately connected with the script and the film's tone. Instead of relying only on visual effects and giant battles, there appears to be a major emphasis on character growth and emotional storytelling. That combination has become increasingly important for modern superhero audiences. It suggests this movie wants viewers invested in Kara as a person rather than only as a superhero. So, the screenplay actually comes from Ana Nogueira and is based pretty heavily on the acclaimed comic story Woman of Tomorrow. The source material really steps away from your usual superhero formulas, focusing instead on this cosmic adventure that's packed with emotion and self-discovery. That story got a lot of praise because it made Kara feel like a fully realized individual, with her own struggles and motivations. A lot of comic readers actually consider it to be one of the strongest Supergirl stories ever written. I did not read that comic book storyline, so I can't really tell you if it exactly like it or how much was taken from that story. Audiences could be in for something a lot more layered than they might expect, depending if they hold true to the source material. The story, without spoiling it, revolves around Kara being drawn into a journey alongside a young girl named Ruthie Mary Knoll, as she has a certain amount of time to save her dog Krypto, who we saw in the previous Superman film. If you will recall, at the end of Superman, we her show up with a hangover to pick up her dog. Along, we realize that Ruthie is seeking justice after some devastating events impact her family, making this a really personal mission that drives the whole narrative forward. Instead of just focusing on saving Earth from another world-ending threat, the movie chooses a smaller and more emotional story. Sometimes, Those personal stakes can create the strongest superhero experiences, and honestly, that could end up being one of the movie's biggest strengths. I love that Earth is not the focal point of the film. Seeing how the Kryptonian handle situations outside of Earth is a welcome situation for me. Go. The film's villain is confirmed as Krem of the Yellow Hills, played by Matthias Schoenaerts. Krem isn't just another giant alien invasion threat. Instead, he seems to be directly tied to the personal story that's unfolding throughout the movie. Personal villains usually create a stronger emotional investment because the audience really understands what's at stake, especially when it comes to Kara and her only real family, which is her dog. The conflict feels much more intimate and character-focused. That may have broader consequences in future films. There are a lot of scenes that they try to go for a comedic tone, but I did not think it landed very well. I have to mention, I just love the CGI Krypto. That dog is just so cute and makes me want one. One of the most fun parts of this movie is the arrival of Jason Momoa as Lobo. Fans have wanted to see Lobo appear in live action for years because, honestly, the character brings chaos, humor, and absolute unpredictability. His inclusion helped shape the movie's structure and added a unique energy to the story. Jason Momoa is great as Lobo, and I believe he may become one of the breakout characters of the new DC universe. For me, he is the one that steals the scenes, and I am hopeful to see more of this character in future films. The visual direction also incredibly ambitious. The film travels across multiple worlds with different cultures, environments, and designs. Rather than remaining centered on Earth, audiences are expected to experience a much larger cosmic landscape. Space adventures is a good portion of the film, and we begin to see how the DC universe will expand as these films begin to arrive. That larger universe may help establish exciting future possibilities for DC. Another encouraging sign is that DC Studios appears committed to creating a connected universe while still allowing characters to have distinct identities. Supergirl embraces a darker and more emotionally complex tone than previous DC entries. Variety in storytelling is important because audiences do not want every hero feeling identical. Having Superman and Supergirl feel completely different makes the universe richer and more believable. It gives each character room to stand on their own. While Superman was a bit positive and in a few instances humor that was very campy. This movie highlighted strong emotional moments and an interesting take in the way Kara is portrayed. If I have to describe the film as feeling more like a space adventure mixed with a character drama rather than a standard superhero formula, Milly Alcock's performance is a very good one, as someone doesn't really care about what happens around her, unlike Superman who care about everything. This version feels wounded, powerful, and relatable at the same time. If audiences connect emotionally with Kara, DC may have a major success on its hands. As excitement continues to build, Supergirl is shaping up to be much more than another comic book release. It has a talented cast, a respected creative team, emotional storytelling, and a fresh approach that could redefine the character for a new generation. If everything comes together, this movie may become one of the strongest foundations for DC's future. I give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. The movie is very enjoyable, good cast. The comedic undertones did not work for me. Thank you for listening at my review of this movie, and we will continue bringing you the latest movie reviews. And let us know what you think of the movie, or if you're going to see it or not, in the comments section. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, and join Hidden Source News, because the biggest stories are only getting started. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.